You know, don't you? You know, it's the final race, isn't it? It's the final race of the Noob Gamers Championship this evening. Hopefully everyone can hear me loud and clear. If not, please drop it in the chat. It's always good to have a little test early doors, and I've made an effort for you all this evening. Not only is the jacket returned, we've gone for the cheeky little tie and shirt combination as previously ironed by my beautiful assistant just 10 minutes ago. Last minute decision, but hopefully it's worth it for you guys at home. And here we are. The championship trophy is back on the desk. So the Wolfies Porridge is back on the desk. And we've just got one final race to decide who will be the first champion, the very first winner of the Noob Gamers Championships. But remember, this is just season 1 and there will be more seasons to come. But it's an important one tonight because only one person can ever win the very first one, and we will find out who that is tonight. If you've got any inklings, you guys at home, drop it in the chat. Who do we think it's going to be this evening? It could be Bob Hump, it could be Evidence, it could be Trevor Hump. There's people up and around those top places, and it's only going to take one crash from someone this evening to cause some chaos and maybe cost someone the championship. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to stay with us live here on Twitch. Whether you're watching on your mobile phone, whether you're watching via your tablet doing the washing up, whether you're watching it on your big screen TV, however you are watching us here this evening, we thank you for joining us live here as we bring you another race from Project Cars 2. And as I said, it's the final race of the championship. So let's see who we've got in the chat. We've got Rolfie, we've got Not Benjamin, and they're going for Trevor Hump for the win. Tie and everything, indeed, yes, you've got to make an effort these days for the final race of the championship. So practice is already underway. We're over 5 minutes into practice. Let's turn on the Megatron. And there we go. And as you can see behind me, a slightly different thing in the air. We have a tiny little bit of snow this evening at Brands Hatch, where we'll be racing this evening. Snow is in the air. It's nearly Christmas. And the races will have some wet, slushy conditions to contend with this evening. Now, I'm led to believe there will be no snow or no wet during qualifying, so qualifying will be nice and clean. However, where it counts is race day, and we're going to have some extra bit of fun weather for the competitors this evening. So yeah, thank you for joining us. Let's bring in the sound. Let's turn on the Megatron properly, and you guys at home can watch exactly what we're seeing here tonight. So there we go, the sounds are on, and we're on board with Bob Hump, who's currently top of the championship table. He has a decent lead over Evidence in second place, but it all comes down tonight. There is 25 points up for grabs, which could give anyone towards the top a decent chance of winning the championship, especially if there are people who don't finish the race. That's going to be the key tonight. If everyone finishes the race, there's lots of points up for grabs, and we could not have too much movement. But if people at the top start falling out of the pack, making mistakes and losing their car completely, then they could leave the door open for someone to snap up a decent position in the final standings. So yeah, we're on board with Bob Hump, as we can see here, doing really well around the track. He's got the fastest lap under his belt in practice already, with just over 5 minutes gone of practice. Unfortunately, Odyssey's yet to post time, so he's obviously, let's see what he's up to. So he is going around the track, putting a bit of work in. So hopefully he can post a time and we can get a good gauge of how the initial leaderboard might look this evening before we head into qualifying. So we've got Bob in first, we've got Rob 3 in second, we've got Trevor Hump in third, we've got Evidence in fourth, Sin in fifth, Invertigo in sixth, Mad Knife 7th, Ilium finds himself in 8th position, Alpha Crichton in 9th, Tuke in 10th, Jimmy H Official in 11th, and 12th. Bringing up the rear is Odyssey, as he just spins it nicely as I call his name. Almost perfect. So obviously during practice, what we want to do is speak to the people involved. So what we're going to do is bring in race director extraordinaire Jimmy H Official into the chat, as he can give you his views on the final race of the championship. Good evening, Jimmy H.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, I'm feeling positive going into tonight's race.
Nice, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Obviously you're just chilling in the pits at the moment, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I just took a spin, took someone out to just get my rear spoiler fixed. I'm literally just pulling out now. as well. So
Tidy. Well, what we brought you in here for, Jimmy, is of course, lead sponsor of the race, organiser of the race. This has all been you, and here we are, week 4 for the final race. How do you think the competition has gone over the last 4 weeks?
I think it's been interesting. I think we've first and foremost we've met some awesome guys for a start.
Yeah.
We've immediately built this nice little community. There's kind of between 10 and 20 of us. Everybody gets on. It's good fun. We're all in it for a laugh. There's nobody taking it too seriously, which is what the whole thing's about, really. We've all shared ideas, tips, learnt from each other, which is really nice. But don't forget, there's still a competition at the end of the day, and somebody's got to win it. It's not going to be me. I'm too far down the board, but I think it could be all changed this evening. I think that anything can happen, and whatever you see on the leaderboard now could change dramatically over the course of the next hour or so.
Exactly, that's definitely fair to say. Now, in terms of the conditions tonight, we've had a little chat with the viewers at home to let them know what we can have in store. But obviously, we want to hear it from the man himself. What weather we got? What can we expect for the races this evening?
Snow to clear this evening, so it's going to be snowy to start with. It's going to be wet, it's going to be cold, it's going to be slippery, and what we're going to need to think about, and the other drivers need to think about, is tyres. They're going to take a good couple of 2 or 3 laps to warm up, really. So first couple of laps could be quite hairy, bit slippy, bit slidey, and then as the snow clears, the temperature will pick up a bit and the driving conditions will become a little bit easier. However, let me just let this guy past. However, it's still going to be very wet, so it's unlikely we'll see anybody change to slicks. Everybody should be running wet tyres. It's unlikely we'll see any changes there. As the snow lifts, obviously speeds should generally increase, so it could make for an exciting latter part of the race. I'm quite looking forward to it, and with the wet tyres, it's not too slippy in the snow just at the minute.
Cool, no, really good to hear. And as we did discuss earlier on the channel, in qualifying we don't have any of these weather conditions. Can you talk us through the thinking behind that this evening?
Yeah, so my thoughts were that I felt like it's easier to practice in the hardest conditions and try and get your fastest time in the easiest conditions. However, everybody's been practicing in the snow, so actually nobody's really been practicing in the dry, so it could make for some interesting qualifying times as well. And I guess, in real life racing, if you're racing, when there's snowy weather, you might have snow for practice, dry for qualifying, snow for race. But none of the guys seem to have a problem with that. I think it could make for an interesting starting grid. However, those who might not normally get pole position, if they start a bit further back the grid, I'm relatively confident that they'll work their way up. I'm almost certainly starting towards the back of the grid, which is standard for me, but I'm not in it for that. I quite like being at the back of the grid, hope for a bit of carnage and cut my way through like I did last week for kind of a mid-table 7th place finish.
Yeah, as we saw last week, you're absolutely right. We had a fairly full grid at the start, but people just kept dropping away after a few crashes early doors. And obviously with the conditions this evening, it might be vital just for people to even keep it on the track for the entire length of the race. Yeah,
you're right. Coming straight off the line for the first lap, the first corner's not too bad off the line. When you're coming back round for the first time, I'm not sure if you're viewing me now, but as you cross over the line here at full speed on a hot lap, the first corner's pretty sketchy. Mm-hmm. So coming into this corner, it slopes away. You can't see much. It's a bit unclear where to brake. Here it really slopes away, and you're almost losing the car. If you put too much in, you're losing the car. But off the lights, that's not going to be too much of an issue. But coming down here, long straight, we're going to see people reaching some speeds. And this long hairpin all the way around here, all the way around to the right, is going to cause some issues. And then it drops downhill into a left-hand corner, so more issues here. So it could be an interesting start.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to it in the studio, and I know the people at home will be looking forward to it as well. So thank you for joining us to give us all the explanations of what we should expect tonight. And there's only one thing to say, Jimmy, and that is good luck. And we hopefully will see you.
I need all the luck I can get.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you higher up the leaderboard tonight. But thank you for
cool.
joining us, and we'll chuck you back in with the rest of the boys. Enjoy.
Thanks. Cheers.
So there we go. That was race director Jimmy H. Official filling you in with all the information you'll need for tonight's race. Whether you wanted to know about qualifying, whether you wanted to know about the weather, whatever it was, you should have just heard exactly what you need to know as Jimmy spins out there. So let's have a look and see who we've got on chat. Fred himself has joined us and says hello or thank you for joining us this evening, as well as Nemo, our old friend from previous streams. Welcome to the stream, boys. And long returning member Wheels McGee has made his appearance this evening for, it's been a while, Wheels, but, welcome to the stream. And, of course, you're loving the suit. We've got to make an effort for what is the final race of the championship this evening. This is what we've been building up to for the last 4 weeks. So we have just over 5 minutes left of practice this evening before we head into qualifying, which gives us time to speak to a couple of the other racers. Now, at the top of the leaderboard, we, of course, have Bob and Trevor from Team Double Hump. So we're going to jump in their channel. Now their channel's pretty full this evening. We've got Bob Hump, we've got Crichton, we've got Mad Knife, we've even got a supporter Rolfie, and we've got Trevor Hump all in the channel. So I apologise if there's quite a few people talking over each other, but we'll see what we can do to have a chat with the top guy of the leaderboard, and that is Bob Hump. So we'll jump in the channel now and have a chat to the boys. Good evening, Team Double Hump.
Good evening.
Murray.
Good evening.
Good evening, Murray.
How are we all?
Jolly well.
Getting wet.
Getting wet, that's what we like to hear. Now,
Sounds really
of
dirty.
course, we've jumped into the channel to speak to the one and only Bob Hump 3, top of the leaderboard.
I thought you were going to go with Jamie Rolfe there.
That would have been good.
I should have done just to,
Yeah.
Sure.
come down and crash. So, Bob Hump, top of the leaderboard at the moment. What are your thoughts going into the race this evening?
Apprehension. I have targets and I need to meet them. Let's put it that way.
Okay, are you aiming for first place this evening, or are you just trying to get up towards the top?
I just need to finish top 4.
Okay, that's your aim then, is it? Just top 4?
It'd be
No.
lovely to have a win.
Lovely to have a win.
Top 4 is the aim.
Okay, I like it. And obviously, Trevor, you're near the top of the leaderboard as well. If for whatever reason Bob doesn't make it through the race tonight, there's still an opportunity for you to finish in a decent place in the standings. What's your tactics going into the race this evening?
Well, I need top 4 as well to guarantee third place.
Okay.
So that's my tactics are to try and stay out of trouble and save the tyres and finish the race in a reasonable position.
Yeah, because obviously we've had a lot of chat. We've just had Jimmy H giving us a lowdown of what's happening with the weather, what's happening with qualifying and everything this evening. And obviously we do have snow to clear this evening, which could cause a little bit of, aggro for the drivers out there this evening.
It's not so much the snow, I think. It's the clearing that's going to cause the problem. Do you want to risk slick tyres?
Yeah, lots of choices for you all this evening. And as we've got him here, is Rolfie87 alive? Is he chatting?
Yeah, I'm here.
He's here. Now, long-term fan of, the double humps. Very active in the chat, getting on back of the boys, trying to support them. But obviously we can now bring an interview live to the people at home of who they might have been chatting to in the stream. So welcome.
It's a dream. It's an absolute dream.
Is there anyone you'd like to thank for this moment?
Well, I'd like to thank Ben Elliott and Bob Humphrey.
Wow.
Cool, nice little shout out. And your predictions for the race this evening?
I've got to go with my boy, haven't I? He's got to win it.
Yeah?
What evidence?
Of course he is. Yeah, of course he is. Iliam's my boy, isn't he?
Iliam's your boy. Simple as that then. Well,
Exactly.
with only a few minutes left of practice, we'll leave you boys to it. But thank you for all joining us, and good luck everyone for the race ahead.
Cheers, dude.
Bye.
So there we go. That was Team Double Hump there. We've had a chat to the people towards the top of the leaderboard. And there's obviously one more man who can affect things this evening, and that is Evidence, who's currently in 4th place. But we're going to jump into their channel now and have a quick word with him. He currently sits in 2nd place in the championships. Evidence, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you this evening?
Really nice, to be honest. I'm out of pressure for this race because now this doesn't depend on me to win the championship, and I will try to hold the 2nd position the best I can for the championship.
Exactly
and
that.
Just wait. If there's any incident for any reason and Bob crashes, that's the same as I did in the last race. I will take the advantage on that for sure.
You're exactly right.
I'm calm for this race. That's the I really can't.
All the chat this evening has been, all the pressure has been mounted on the shoulders of Bob this evening. You know, he's currently in first position. Everyone's thinking he's going to win. But as you said, you know, with the conditions we've got this evening, anything could happen, and you've just got to keep your cool head and make sure you finish the race.
If he goes out in any corner and for any reason he crashes into the wall, he will have a problem for sure, and I will be there for getting that opportunity. So let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens indeed. And quickly, while we've got you here, Rob 3, in and out of the podium positions during lots of the races. We know you've got it in the locker, currently in second place in terms of the fastest lap in practice. What's your strategy for this evening?
Hopefully just to finish the race. I would like to finish one preferably a little bit higher than 10th. But yeah, no rage quitting. Gonna see this one through.
See this through. Perfect. Well, with under 30 seconds left of practice, we'll leave you boys to it. So good luck for the race ahead, and hopefully we'll speak to you all at the end.
Thank you.
So there we go. We've chatted to everyone towards the top of the leaderboard now. We've got their reaction going into the race. Thank you again at home for joining us this evening for the final race of the Noob Gamers Championships. And we're just about to finish practice now. Everyone's had the opportunity to make sure they know this track inside and out, ready for the race ahead, where there are lots of points up for grabs. As we've said lots of time on the stream in previous weeks, the top 10 places this evening will receive points. So there's only going to be 2 racers this evening who finish the race without being in the points. So lots of points up for grabs, and it should be a really exciting competition. But thank you, Rolfie, in the chat, of course. Always great to speak to the fans of the channel. And welcome to everyone else as we're counting down now to where it matters. We're counting down to qualifying. And while we have that countdown, you know, it will be remiss of us not to have a quick chat with the Noob Gamers team. You know, they've been doing okay during the championships so far as a team, but could tonight be a turning point for them? Good evening, Noob Gamers.
Hello.
Good evening.
Chaps, in and out of the top positions. You know, we've had Ilium up there, we've had Odyssey sniffing around. Jimmy, you know, it might be your night tonight.
Cheers.
What are we thinking going into the race ahead? Are we going to see one of you Noob Gamers, you know, representing the channel, attacking the top of the leaderboard tonight?
Attacking the people at the top of the leaderboard, maybe, but not attacking the top of the leaderboard.
Physically.
Yeah, as in driving into them. But
Okay, so we're going for some takeout tactics this evening, potentially.
no, just active braking, I call it.
Active braking, nice. Now, obviously, as you know, we've seen in the races so far, of all the people who might be able to challenge from us boys, it's got to be Ilium. How are you feeling for the race ahead?
Yeah, I mean, the other ones, I had some pretty good pace, actually. But this time, I have not practiced at all. I'm well off the pace. So I'm not expecting anything tonight, I'm afraid.
Oh
No
dear.
time.
Disappointing from the chaps. But, you know, I thought I'd come in and chat to you boys just before qualifying to, you know, see how we were
Thanks,
feeling.
We've never done this track in the
yeah.
dry, which qualifying is, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you've got to liven it up for the qualifying
there.
tonight.
Bit of chaos.
A bit of chaos. Well, we're just about to start qualifying now, so I'll leave you all to it.
Thanks,
But
mate.
good luck for the race ahead.
Fantastic. Have
Thanks.
a great time.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
So there we go. That was the Noob Gamers team. We've got Ilium, we've got Odyssey, and we've got Jimmy trying to get some points on the board for, you know, our own channel, but it doesn't look likely tonight based on the time. So Bob Hump is out of the pits and is going to try and get his tyres warmed up, ready to put down the qualifying times. Now, as we said, qualifying is completely dry this evening. We've got no weather obstructions for any of our races this evening as they try and put the fastest time down for qualifying to get themselves a decent track position ready for the race ahead. So it should mean, you know, there's nothing getting in the way of putting some decent times down. So hopefully everyone can start really attacking the track in the dry, putting down a decent fast lap, and we'll see how this transpires over the next 10 minutes. As we've said on previous streams, it is only 10 minutes, which means you really have to focus going into qualifying. One mistake, you know, if you lose your head during qualifying and you can't get it back within the time frame, you're going to start low down the standings. So it's really a time to focus. This is why we lead the races to it while they're qualifying, because the focus and concentration levels they need to make sure they're putting the decent times down in qualifying, you know, with only just over 8 minutes left. And you know, as we've seen before, people come out the pits one by one, slowly, surely, and you know, you can often lose a whole minute of qualifying just waiting to come out the pits. So really, you've only got a few laps to go around the track to put a decent time down. So hopefully everyone can keep their heads this evening and put some decent laps down. So we're on board with Bob Hump 3. We're going to see what times he can put down. Just a little bit of a collision there with Jimmy H Official, but we managed to get around that just okay. We're going to see who puts the fastest time down first. Bob Hump was one of the earlier ones out of the pits to start us off. So we'll see how he fares. We'll just stay on board with him now as he makes his way round this famous circuit. So it's all clear at the moment at Brands Hatch with no snow during qualifying, but the snow will hit as soon as the race starts. So you know, it's an interesting one for the races. They've practiced in the wet and the snow, they're racing in the wet and the snow, but the qualifying's completely different. They can really attack it tonight, assuming they've got their tyre setups correct. But yeah, once again, thank you for joining us at home, wherever you're watching live this evening, for the final race of the Noob Gamers Championship, to see who's going to be crowned Season 1 champion, as Bob Hump makes his way past one of Team CRL. And let's see if we can get a time down as he comes around this corner now. I don't think he's going to manage it. No, I think it was an invalidated lap. Or no, it wasn't. A 1:23 there from Bob. Really, really good start from Bob there. A 1:23 is going to be difficult to beat, as we see Trevor comes in with a 1:25. Evidence currently way down behind them at 1:43 so far. So it's a really good start from Team Double Hump, as Mad Knife joins the fray in third place with a 1:26. So you know, you can see how well Bob's racing this evening. He's already well ahead of the pack of people who have posted some times. So fair play, you know, he's got to be happy with that as he lets a few people through now, because I think, you know, deep down he must know that time is a decent one. Sin joins us now in third place. Now Sin's always an interesting one. He's always got the ability. We've seen he's got something in the locker, but he's never quite transferred it to the top of the leaderboard. But you know, I always like to think we've got big things from Sim. So Bob's fastest lap ever in this car, I'm told on the chat by Rolfie, who's in the chat. So he must be delighted with that. So I think he can probably kick back now and relax for the rest of qualifying. Let's jump on board. See, even Took's getting up in amongst it tonight, above Evidence with a 1:42. Let's jump on board with Invertigo as he comes around the final corner and see what sort of times he's posting this evening. So it doesn't look like he's posted a time. It must have been invalidated from going off the track, so he'll have to go around again. So does Odyssey and Ilian. We can see the race feed there. Odyssey have an awful time as Invertigo nearly goes sideways and smashes into the barrier there on the sideways. So yeah, Bob's just chilling now, I'm told, just kicking back, letting all the races through, which, you know, does help the rest of the races this evening. Because it is, you know, as we said, it's only 10 minutes of qualifying, so if one car's just going to sit back, chill and relax, it should mean there's some more space on the track for everyone else to go around. We've got a time now from Alf Crichton up in 6th place. So Evidence at the moment, you know, currently 2nd place in the standings, finds himself in 10th place position. We can only assume he's got a good lap in him to come, so we'll jump on board with him now and see what he's got in the locker as he tries to climb higher up those places, because he does not want to be towards the back of the grid for this evening's events. He wants to find himself higher up, but we'll see what he can pull out this evening as we stay on board with him now. Hopefully the cars in front will let him through, or maybe not. Maybe they're going to block the road and keep Evidence further down as he slows into this corner now. He's going to let... Looks like the person behind him's got some decent pace as well, so not sure what's going on with Evidence so far. We're under halfway now in qualifying, so he's not got long to post a time. As we can see, the times are 1:23 at best this evening, 1:40-ish at worst. So really, you can only get, you know, 5 top laps at most, assuming you don't need to pit or do any changes. in order to get a decent time. So he's got himself up to 7th place there with a 1:33, a full 10 seconds almost behind Bob in first place, but he's creeping his way up the leaderboard. We want to see evidence up there this evening because we want to see that challenge for the top of the leaderboard. We want to see that pressure on Bob and see how he handles it, mainly for the viewers at home and for me, just so he can get a bit of excitement this evening. It would be a shame if Bob ran away with it in the early doors, so it would be nice to see evidence pushing here higher up the leaderboard. So we'll keep an eye on his times at the moment. Trevor's down in 3rd place, Sin still in 4th, Mad Knife finds himself in 5th, and Crichton Alphen, we don't see a lot of him, although last week he did cause a few issues on the track with a couple of poor decisions, but currently in 6th place position, trying to make amends for what happened last week. He did of course finish the race, and with other racers not finishing the race due to the crashes that we had, but again, he's always been in and around the middle of the pack, and let's see this evening if he can find a higher place in the standings in this final race of the championships. Just one racer yet to post a time, and that's in Vertigo. So currently in 12th place with Took and Ilium towards the back end of the leaderboard as well. So we need to see if Vertigo can post a time, just so we get a true reflection of everyone's pace this evening, as we're on board with Crichton Alpha at the moment. But some decent times been putting in from everyone else this evening. We've got Rob in 2nd and Trevor in 3rd, both under the 1:25 mark, which is really impressive racing from those boys this evening. But it is a fantastic lap from Bobby posted early doors to get under the 1:24 mark to keep himself in 1st position as Crichton Alpha makes his way down the final straight. Let's see if he can prove on his time he's done so far. And there's no improvement there from Crichton as he overtakes Took around the outside to try and get himself ahead to make another attack. So less than 2 minutes remaining now of qualifying. Not much time for the racers to post some times, as in Vertigo has posted a time now. He finds himself in 9th position with a 1:34. So not bad from him. We've not seen a lot of racing from Vertigo so far. He joined us in the earlier parts of the championship, but fell foul I couldn't make races, etc., as we have a spin there in front of us from Crichton. But so we haven't really seen the best of Vertigo yet, and I'm sure we've still got that to come. Maybe he could be a dark horse this evening with his true colours coming out as we've jumped on board with Odyssey. Now Odyssey finds himself in 8th place. Obviously in the first race we had, he lost positions, lost the opportunity to race entirely due to Project Cars having a few issues. He was able to race with us last week and got himself a respectable position on the leaderboard, but currently finds himself in 8th place in qualifying. As he admitted himself, he's not put a lot of practice in this evening, but hopefully we got to see one of the Noob Gamers boys having an attack here, haven't we? We just want to see them pushing up the leaderboard just for for the channel. They're representing Noob Gamers. We just want to see one of them have a little push, but all of them at the moment find themselves way down the pack. Ilium currently quite a far bit behind Jimmy, down in 12th place, with everyone now posting some decent times amongst the rest of the racers. So with just 30 seconds left, we've got Bob still in 1st, we've got Rob 3 has found himself in 2nd place, Trevor Hump in 3rd, Evidence has boosted his way up to 4th with a decent time of 1:25, knocking Sin down a peg to number 5th position, Mad Knife in 6th, Alpha Crichton in 7th, Vertigo in 8th, Odyssey in 9th, Took in 10th, it's Jimmy H official in 11th position, and Ilium in 12th. So let's see if we get any changes to those times in these closing stages of qualifying. Still a few cars still out on track, trying to just eke a few more seconds. And yeah, Bob, as you rightly pointed out, Rolfie, has gone a little bit faster this evening. He's on absolute fire. But you have to say it's a really good lap as well from Rob 3, nearly under the 1:24 mark, as School Bus joins us this evening. Good evening, School Bus. Welcome to the channel as you join us live for the final race of the Noob Gamers Championship, with qualifying almost come to a close, and we're about to start the race at Brands Hatch in the snow. It's nearly Christmas. We've got to chuck some snow in there for the final race this evening. So qualifying nearly done. We're just going to keep an eye on the times and see if there's any movement. But yes, School Bus, it's going really, really well. We're building a nice little community, as Jimmy talked about earlier, of racers. We've got some really top guys who are taking part in our championships. You know, the Discord channel is lively to say the least when the races are on. So yeah, we've got lots more to come for the channel. Twice a week now we're doing some nice racing streams, so it's going really well, really well. I hope you're well. I assume you're still playing Football Manager. What sort of saves have we got going on at the moment? Let us know in the chat, as qualifying is just 20 seconds to go. Trevor Hump's still out on the track trying to post a little bit of time, and there we go. But really appreciate the host this evening, School Bus. You know, all the support we get on the channel is amazing. It always surprises me how people still continue to watch us here on Noob Gamers Live, but you know, really appreciate any support from anyone. Yes, the snow has gone for qualifying, Fred, but it's coming back hard for the race, as we've got confirmation here of the final standing. So Bob's in first place. We got Rob in second. Let's see if we can get the full timings for you there. So Bob in first, Bob 3 in first, Rob 3 in second, Trevor Hump 3 in third, Evidence in fourth, Sin in fifth, Mad Knife 6th, Crichton Alpha in 7th, Invertigo in 8th, Jimmy H Official in 9th, Odyssey in 10th, Took in 11th, with Ilium closing off the places in 12th place. So here we go. Not long now. The engines are warming up as we jump on board with Rob 3, and we're going to see how this race starts. Thank you for joining us for the final race of Season 1 of the Noob Gamers Championships. We're about to start the final race. I'm excited. You should be excited. We're just moments away from the engines being started. Oldham, 5-year plan to go from League 2 to the Premier League. Wow, that is... I mean, if you can pull that off, School Bus, that is impressive. Really impressive. So yeah, good luck with that is all I can say. You know, that's probably a challenge a step too far from what I'd probably take on. Just currently chilling with a Newcastle save at the moment, my team. You know, I think, what am I, Season 4 now? I'm knocking around the top 4, so not bad, but not quite as near the challenge as the 5-year plan with Oldham you're attempting, but fair play. So we're just waiting for everyone to be ready here. There's a little bit of a delay, but we're waiting for the engines to start. We're waiting to hear the rev of the engines kick us off this evening. Got our cheeky little steward there just waiting. The replay works. All you need to do this evening is put in... let's put this in chat so you guys can see what we're doing this evening. Here we go. So if you want to see a replay this evening, you put exclamation mark replay. And we're off here for the final race of the Noob Gamers Championship. Really good start from everyone. Bob sprinting ahead in first place with Rob in second. We'll jump on board with Bob Hump in first and see what sort of carnage we get into these next few corners. As some gaps are already starting to appear. Good pace off the line from a few people. It's a decent start from Bob in first. He's made that podium position count as he starts pulling away from the rest of the track. Rob 3 in second, neatly in behind him, with Trevor in third and Evidence in fourth. But yes, if you want to see a replay this evening, it is exclamation mark replay. If two of you do that, the meter to the side of me fills up and we get the replays triggered as Bob Hump continues down this straight here. Lovely little slope down here in Brands Hatch. It's all nice and clean at the front of the pack at the moment, which is where the action is this evening. You know, we want to see who's going to be winning the championship this evening, but as we can see already, Bob is making a nice lead. As Evidence, we're going to jump on board with him. He just went off the track a little bit there and sent some stuff flying over. So, you know, a little bit off the pace this evening, Evidence, but hopefully he can get back on board, sort his head out and get back in the game. So we really need him to start pushing Bob now in first position. So we'll jump back on board with Bob, but that distance between them is already starting to open up between first and second place. So it's fantastic driving from Bob Hump this evening. You know, really, really strong driving, and he's just got to maintain that throughout. Trevor looks like he's going to make a pass on Rob 3 here. We'll just jump on board with that race now and see how that hots up. He's trying to go on the inside, doesn't quite make it, you know, didn't want to go on the grass. as a replay's been triggered there, we can just see what's going on. But there it is. There's the pass. But although he has gone wide here into the dirt, which Rob can capitalise on. So he really did try and take the place there. But it looks like Rob's also made a mistake and has dropped well down the pack as well. So Trevor's got away with one massively there. As he finds himself in second place. Evidence now up to third position. He's 5 seconds off the pace of Bob already, but not far behind Trevor. You know, we're talking nearly less than a second splitting them at the moment as he's trying to make an advance on those podium places. But you can see the wet flying off the tyres this evening. Absolutely flying off as the snow starts to clear throughout the race. But it must be causing havoc. Not only are the tyres cold, there's also obviously wet on the track as well. So lots to contend with. So Rob 3 currently is well down in 7th place. Obviously he's not up there in the championship this evening, so he's still racing with us. We haven't lost him entirely. But we're on board with Evidence because we want to see Evidence push these places this evening because he's really the main challenger to Bob in first. So Bob's just got to keep it steady. He holds a really solid lead at the top of the leaderboard at the moment, but as we know, one fatal crash, one fatal error could cause him the championship this evening. So here we go. We're Evidence. He's not catching Trevor here. Trevor's racing really, really well. Holds, the time's nearly out to 2 seconds now. So obviously Evidence hasn't quite got the pace we've seen in previous races this evening to really make his skills count. But the humps at the top of the leaderboard are doing really, really well. And find themselves well ahead. Let's have a look further down the pack and see if there's any racing going on between any of the lower place positions. So we'll jump on board with Sin. Sin's trying to catch up Mad Knife in 4th position, just a second between them at the moment. We'll see if this transpires into anything. Mad Knife, we've seen him up in some decent places during the races in previous events. But he's not as consistent as the people near the top, but he's clearly got something in the locker as he finds himself in 4th place this evening. So Sin's going to have a push because again, Sin, he's been up there again. So both these races, are probably higher than what we've seen them in the podium in the standings in previous races. But can they stay there for the entire race is the key. Good job. There's no penalties already this evening. So we've had some really good clean racing, but as we've said in the chat, you have to say it's a Humphrey 1-2 this evening. That's they're racing really strongly this evening. So Sin still just 1 second behind Mad Knife in 4th. So all the places to play for this evening, all top places will receive some points. So every single place counts. So if you are lower down the track, just because you're not in first position, there's still places to play for. So you might as well push. So let's see if this gets any better for Sin here, as the time between them is now less than a second. So Sin is gaining slowly. Each corner he's making little gains. So let's see if he can capitalise on this as he goes into the next few corners. As I said, we haven't seen too many mistakes so far from the races, although just as I said that, there's a little slide from Sin which pushes the time well over the second mark. So Mad Knife driving really well in 4th place at the moment, just to maintain that gap. But he is well off the pace of Evidence at the moment, a good few seconds behind him. But there we go. But exactly not Benjamin. Points do mean porridge this evening. There is porridge up for grabs for the people who finish towards the top of the standings. And of course, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this evening, there is, of course, porridge up for grabs for you guys joining us here at home, which is unbelievable from our sponsors this evening. They're giving some stuff away, as Sin is getting really close now. So Sin is definitely going to have an attack here. He's hot on the heels of Mad Knife. So let's just stick with this now while we forget about the porridge for a second, just to see if Mad Knife can capitalise on a few little mistakes from Mad Knife. Sin can capitalise, sorry, not Mad Knife on himself. But no, it looks like Mad Knife's pulling away again. So again, he's really driving well at the moment. Consistent enough to keep his 4th place position. So fair play to the boys.
Hello, Murray.
Hello, how's it going?
Hello, mate. Yeah, I've retired, so I thought I'd jump in and give you a bit of co-commentary.
Oh, did you know? Just thought you'd do that all off your own back. How
well,
nice
I don't have
you.
to. I can nip away if you
What
want.
happened? Why have you retired?
I just couldn't stay on the track. Just got some damage, and that was it.
That was it. Well, we're
Yeah.
we're currently on board with Mad Knife, who's trying to
Okay.
keep 4th place position over Sin. Sin is attacking
this
him.
looks like a good battle.
It
This
does look like a good battle. So, there's, nearly half a second split in them. It's fluctuating between a second and half a second. So a decent
battle
battle
for
for 4th place. 8th place and 7th, there's a decent gap for them. So yeah, in 8th place,
8th and
Took,
9th.
there's a little bit of time between them. Let's jump on board that quickly and just see the gaps. Yeah, there's a decent sized gap, so about a second and a half between them at the moment. So the
Yeah.
closest race on the track we've got is Mad Knife and Sin. But yeah, can you just explain from a driver's perspective as we got here, how difficult is it to drive in these conditions this evening?
I mean, I'm probably not the best person to ask. I've only owned this game for a couple of weeks. And it's my first ever race.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the problem is you just got to get the setup right, and then you've got grip. And if you don't have time to practice and know what you're doing with setup, you
Yeah.
just don't have any grip. So yeah, it's totally different.
Which is good, it keeps all the races on your toes. Week in, week out,
if
there's
you
always
could-
something to do.
absolutely. This is a really good battle. Yeah, I'll watch this. I'll keep my eye on some battles for you and give you some heads up.
That'd
if
be
you want.
good. So yeah, we are still sticking on board with Man Knife at the moment. It's the closest race we've got around the track. There's some decent gaps opening up between lots of competitors this evening. But this battle for 4th place is definitely the closest race on the track.
I'll tell you what, Rob is right there. He's catching them up.
He is, yeah. He's slowly gaining on them, as we have seen a little mistake there from Evidence. Evidence has made a massive error there and drops down to 4th place, which gives Mad Knife the opportunity to take 3rd, as Evidence tries to catch him back but isn't able to. So we've really got a lot going on here this evening between 3rd, 4th and 5th and 6th place position. Man Knife currently head of that pack, Jamie, but you've got to say we could be in for some exciting racing here.
I mean, if he can stay there, that's a fantastic job. There's some serious races behind him.
Exactly right. Evidence we've seen in previous weeks has got some really good pace. Sin again, Rob as well. He's always up there, and unfortunately, his head's given way a few times.
So what happened to Rob then at the start? Why is he down in 6th?
We didn't actually catch it. We just think he made an
Okay.
error on the track and basically lost it. So we saw Trevor go wide as he was trying to overtake him, and then all of a sudden Rob just disappeared off the track.
He's
So-
Evidence.
But
Here
Evidence
goes
is going to
Evidence.
push it. He's trying to go down the outside. Has he got enough pace to go round? Oh, it's close. I think he's just done it. Yes, he has. Evidence has taken 3rd place position from Man Knife, although the race is still on as we stay on board with this battle. He's got the inside line here, and he's well through there from Mad Knife. So Evidence has now regained 3rd spot. But all 4 races are really close here, aren't they, Jamie?
I'll tell you what, that was very fair from Mad Knife there. He could have pushed that harder, I think. He was very fair.
Very fair
Rob's
indeed.
taken Sin as well, so he's back up there in the fight.
Yeah, so these green Lambos are, really going for
here
it.
he goes.
He's going for it again. So Mad Knife has almost pulled away there and let the boys through. He didn't really attack, didn't really battle them at all there, did he? Although he's still fighting off Sin, but I think deep down, maybe he just knew, Rob and Evidence had the pace on him.
I mean, this is impressive racing because the worst bit actually is the spray. With 4 cars running so close, you can't see anything.
Yeah. I mean, they must have an awful time. I mean, let's see if we can jump on board with Mad Knife. And let's get into the cockpit. So here we go. We can see what Jamie's talking about now. We're not quite as close as we were earlier, but there we go. We've just had a little sprinkling of it there. You see, as Mad Knife is just gaining a little bit there, the spray really does hit those windows.
Yeah.
So the racers, unless you know this track well, and as said, Mad Knife's just made a little mistake there because his window was pretty full up with snow. So yeah, fair play to the racers out here this evening. But it looks like Rob might make an attack on Evidence here. What do you think, Jamie?
Well, they've got previous. Oh, he's gone for it.
He's gone
He's
for
done
it.
him.
He's done him, yeah. Done him for 3rd place. So Evidence really struggling out here this evening. Normally, in the top 2 positions of the track, but, can't quite get to grips with this track as Rob 3 takes 3rd place position there, quite cleanly as well.
It seems like the hump pair are just out in front like last race. Yeah, again, no trouble.
No trouble indeed, yeah. As I say, Bob's just got to keep it on the track, really, to bring this home. He's 10 seconds ahead of Trevor in 2nd place and 21 seconds ahead of 3rd. So it's going to take a
Travis
big
is rear
mistake.
gunner, isn't he? Really, he won't be attacking him.
No, exactly. And I mean, you can't attack him at the moment with 10 seconds behind either.
Well, that's what I mean. He's just holding, you know, in case Rob catches up, he can delay Rob. Can
Exactly. But
good teamwork.
we've got some great attacking moves going on from Sin again. He's really
Yeah.
trying to push Mad Knife. It's a
Mad
great
Knife
battle.
gone
And there
wide.
we go. He's gone wide. Can Sin take advantage? Oh, not quite. It was close, but
He's going to be right on it here,
He
though.
is gonna be
Stay
right on it.
close.
Let's jump on board with Chase Cam and just see if we can see how this battle really hots up now. So we're right on the tail of Mad Knife. But again, you can see evidence is definitely losing the pace a little bit here because these boys
Yeah,
are caught him up
strange to
again.
see. I wonder if he's got damage. I'm not. Can we see that? I'm not sure.
It doesn't tell me on my race feed. So,
Doesn't tell you?
No,
Okay.
I've got nothing on
Rob's
that.
pulling away, you know. Surprising. I think the top two is. It seems like it's pretty much done. To be honest, I don't think these Lambos have got the pace.
No, exactly. They just haven't got it this evening, have they? You can see
All the
already.
talk in the week was that the Audis suit this track in the wet a lot better than the Lambos. I don't know whether that's true or not, but that seemed to be the general consensus. And it's
Fair
playing
play.
out.
And Sin's going for it here, to be fair. He's had the inside line on Mad Knife. We've seen a great battle from these two this evening.
Oh,
Is he going to just hold it there into this corner? So he's Sin, and Mad Knife's done really well, although he's gone onto the gravel. That's lost it for Mad Knife, so Mad Knife has
it's
given up
unlucky.
5th place position. Really unfortunate there
Crichton.
from Mad Knife, but Crichton right up behind Mad Knife as well, trying to capitalise on Mad Knife's error there. So Mad Knife, we were talking him up earlier. He was up in 3rd, 4th position, and we were saying how he's got something in the locker, but he's just not quite as consistent as he needs to be, is he?
I don't think he's quite got the raw speed of the guys that have been going past him. So, I think he's doing really well. 6th is a decent position.
Yeah, no, certainly. But, having been up in those heady heights, he must
Yeah.
be thinking at some point, oh, can I do it here? Can I do it? But, as you said, he hasn't quite got the pace overall, has he?
No.
But
It's a
that-
good racer. Great midfield battle, this.
Yeah, really good. So we're going to jump on board back with Evidence briefly, just to see how he's faring around this track. So he's in 4th place position this evening. Really can't quite get to grips with the track as he needs to this evening.
He's sort of holding on, but not quite got it, has he?
No, not quite. But yeah, I have to say at this point, thank you for everyone joining us at home this evening. Really good to see so many people tuning in for the final race of the Noob Gamers Championship. So if there's anyone in particular you're here to see, or you're here to support, drop their name in the chat and we can jump on board with them and see how they're going as we staying on board with Evidence. And he's sort of on a little gap on his own at the moment, isn't he? He's got a couple of cars behind him, one in front, but decent gaps either side.
It'd be interesting, actually, as the track dries up, now that the snow's stopped, the lap time should come down quite significantly. So it could be that some people are able to deal with the cars better when it's a bit drier.
Yeah.
You could see some changes.
Exactly that. I mean, could we see a last push from Evidence? I mean, there's still 10
Oh,
minutes
Rob's
left of the
done.
race.
He's gone. Rob's gone.
Rob's gone. Rob's
Spun it.
gone there. He spun it off completely. We'll see. Look at him doing donuts around the track. So he's in
Down
5th
to
place
5th.
position.
6th.
Alpha's taking him as well.
Oh.
He's had a
He'll
bit
be
of a
livid.
nightmare there. So Evidence does grab 3rd place position with ease, although Sin is right up behind him at the
Right
moment.
now, yeah.
Really good pace from Sin this evening. And Alpha in 5th place position. You probably wouldn't have said that at the start of the race, but fair play. That's some really strong racing from him there.
I wonder what happened to Rob.
Yeah,
Looks like he's had his own accident there.
Yeah, you could say there was no pressure anyone around him, was he? It's just maybe a lack of concentration, and he's lost it. Sin's actually going to attack this, I think. Sin is going to
He's not
attack
promoting
Evidence
it,
here.
I think he's got the pace.
Yeah.
He's got the speed on that.
He's got really good speed. So we're just going to watch this battle unfold now. Sin is going to attack. Oh, I thought he was just going to go for there. He
Rob's
almost
trying
lined
again.
up and then just pulled away at the last minute. So he's definitely got the pace, and he's just biding his time to see when the best moment is to attack here.
Rob's had another little spin on his own whilst you were chatting there. He's back going again, but he must have some serious damage.
Deary me, he's not having a great old time, but
Let's see if he comes in the pits.
maybe, yeah, he might need to at
Nope.
this rate.
He's not. But
Yeah.
he's dropped right back off Crichton.
Not much separating these two. Although Sin, no, he's gone off into the
Sin.
gravel and he smashed into the wall. Oh no, unbelievable from Sin. He was pushing Evidence so hard there, but
Crichton up to
couldn't
4th.
get the job done as he smashes into the wall. We've got the replays being triggered for the people at home. They want to see that again. But so unfortunate
unlucky.
there, really unlucky. Really nice. So we just got the replay coming up in the top right hand corner of the stream. We can see Sin pushing Evidence really hard. Look, going into this corner, and he just goes wide here.
Pushing too hard.
Yeah, just can't keep it on, and bang into the wall. There he goes and off the track. So as Evidence has spun it now in front of us, Evidence just smashed into the wall. Sin and Crichton come flying round.
Crichton's up into the podium.
Crichton is up into the podium. Is Rob going to capitalise here? Rob's coming steaming past. Evidence moves out the way. Really good there. Really good there. Oh, it's all kicking off here. We might have to see another replay of that there. As Evidence goes spinning off the track, but it is all kicking off here. So
I mean, this is what I meant. As the track dries, it changes. The grip levels change so dramatically.
Yeah,
people they're not getting used to it quick enough.
It's mad. Oh, and Crichton's lost it now. Crichton's lost it in third place.
God.
And Sin takes third place position with Crichton dropping down as we see a replay here of Evidence spinning on your screens at home, and he lost it, and you can see people going there. But replays are plenty here this evening with people falling off left, right and centre. It's a good job we've got this piece of technology. As you can see a bit of damage there on Sin's car. He is in third place position, but he's absolutely battered his car to pieces. But
I bet he thought when he lost it there that was it gone, but now he's found himself back up in third.
Yeah, unbelievable. So fortunate. Everyone seems to be chucking themselves about here. So we're going to jump on board with we'll jump on board with Ed Evidence again. He's got a little bit of a competition from Mad Knife, but as we know, Mad Knife just hasn't quite got the pace to keep up with him. Although, on tonight's show, and anything could happen. Just looking down the rest of the league, we have lost someone. We've lost Rob 3 entirely. So Rob 3 is gone entirely. So we're down to 10 races. So everyone's in the points this evening. I wonder whether, Jamie, that's another heads gone moment.
Do you want me to drag him in for a chat?
Maybe you go in and chat to him first and see what happened and see if he wants to chat, and then you report back. We don't want to poke the bear just in case.
What I would say is it might be worth just having a few 30 seconds on the creator of this, Jimmy H. See how he's getting on.
Yeah.
He's not in any battles,
look at the state of his car. He's got scratches all over the front of it. We've got a few dents and bumps, so he's obviously having a whale of a time out there on the track this evening. So we'll just watch him go these next few corners. Odyssey, and the noob gainers. We got one in the commentary box. We got one in 9th, one in 10th. Unbelievable scenes from the noob gamers, but
gone well.
It's they got points on the board now, so fair play to them.
I had 3 good races, and then I wasn't so bothered with this.
So let's have a look around the times we've got this evening. So we've got Bob in first, currently 13 seconds ahead of second place. Really strong from Bob there. Trevor's in second, Sin in third at the moment, Evidence in fourth, Mad Knife in fifth, Alpha Crichton in 6th, Took in 7th, Invertigo in 8th, Odyssey in 9th, and Jimmy H official in 10th. So that rounds up the standings so far with just over 5 minutes left of the race. And from here, you have to say it's a Bob Humph 1 and 2, but the rest of the track is open, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've been untroubled up front, haven't they? They've just been able to take it easy. Everyone's just been falling off the track behind them.
Yeah, I mean, they've literally not had anything to deal with this evening at all, have they?
No, it's a good, solid race. What I would say is, what a race from Took. He's not really been in many of the races. He's new to this. He's normally running somewhere near the back, but look at him up in 7th.
Yeah, and every time we've gone to Took on this stream, he's always got some sort of crashes, some sort of lumps and bumps on the car.
Yeah,
you can just see a little bit of damage, but fair play to him. He's up in 7th place, and he's going strong. Now we've got in the chat, Jamie. Rolfie is in the Team Double Hump crew, just chatting to the boys. So let's bring him into Discord, into the commentary box, and just get an update from. We'll get an update from Rolfie on the mentality of the Humphreys in 1st and 2nd place. How are the boys doing at the front of the grid?
They're just trying to keep it all calm, trying to keep it quiet in the chat. That's what they're trying to do.
Okay.
Just want to get it done. They want to get the job done. That's what they want.
Nice easy race for those boys, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Trev gets 2nd.
I mean,
no trouble. I mean,
there was a little bit of talk. There was a little bit of talk earlier that Bob might have let Trevor pass into 1st place for those extra points to.
I can't comment on that, can I? I can't
But-
drop him in it, can I?
But you have to say there's a 14-second gap between them at the moment. So I mean,
Oh,
it doesn't look like Bob's giving it up easily.
I don't think he needs to at the moment. He knows where they need to finish.
Yeah.
If they finish 1-2 with Evidence fourth, he knows that they get a 1-2. So they're happy at the moment.
Exactly, and Sin is doing them a massive favour in third
He
place at the
really
moment.
is. He's driving really well.
Driving
I can't
really
believe he's
well.
still going with that damage he must have.
Yeah.
Oh, but he was so much quicker than Evidence.
Yeah.
See it, and then he
Evidence
just
is
binned
dropped
it, and I was like, no.
Yeah, we all thought that was his race almost done, but he's managed to claw himself back in third place position, so doing really, really well.
Yeah, no, to be honest, they've all done well.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, really good racing from this evening. Thank you for joining us in the commentary box to let us know how the boys are doing. We'll let you get back in to chat to them, but I'm sure the time will come when we'll need to chat to them towards the end of the race once the places are complete.
Well, of course, you'll need to speak to them. They'll be able to tell you exactly what went on, but yeah, I'm happy to speak to you guys.
Perfect. All good.
Thanks, Rolfie.
Thank you for joining
No
us.
problem.
Cheers, mate.
See you later.
So there we go. That was Rolfie, one of the supporters of Team Double Hump, getting involved in the chat this evening, giving us a little lowdown of the mentality of the Humphreys in first and second place. And as you rightly said, Jamie, they've really not had a lot to contend with this evening, have they?
No, it's been a nice solid race, but it's not their fault what else is happening. They've driven a really good, clean, solid race, so they deserve it.
Yeah, you can't say fairer than that. There's mistakes aplenty from everyone else in the field, and they just kept it nice and solid. So we're on board of Evidence. We're just going to see. I mean, he's really the main competitor, and, if he can get up in the places. But again, little mistake there again, just going on the grass. He's not racing as clean as he would like for sure, is he?
No. I feel like if he could get it together, he would have Sin here, because Sin must have some serious damage. He hit that wall hard.
Yeah, and we've not seen many people go into the pits either to try and fix any of the damage either, have we?
No, but he just can't quite get a lap together. He sort of closes and then he makes a little mistake and falls back. It's an odd race from him.
Yeah, the gap isn't too much though, as we can see going down the home straight now.
No.
So it's just over a second. Now it's under a second, fluctuating between the two. So if Sin starts feeding the pressure and throws a little wobbly, it could let Evidence back in here, couldn't it?
It'd be interesting to see what he has to say after the race. Actually,
Who's Sin?
No evidence.
Evidence, yeah.
Where his pace was.
Yeah, for sure. But again, look at the timings between the two now, and it's gone out to nearly a second and a half times. Sin is racing out of his skin.
He must be with that car.
On the chat, people at home saying they think Sin's got this, and with just under a minute left, you can't. I mean, it's going to take a mistake, isn't it?
It looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks like it. Mad Knife as well, big shout out for him. He's held it together through all that being overtaken over and over. He's held it together in fifth.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some really good driving from people who are normally, middle of the pack. They've had the opportunity with people dropping out, only 10 races this evening, but, they've raced really well and really hard this evening, haven't they? So fair play to them. So 20 seconds left of the race. This is the closing stages now, so the humps have definitely got. So we'll jump on board with Bob as we see him coming around the last few corners. This is almost his victory parade now.
It is,
He's got it in the bag. He's not done any dodgy team orders and let Trevor pass either. He's made sure he's got the job done
nice,
in the
though,
first
wouldn't
place. It would have been quite funny.
Nice gesture, but sure.
Exactly.
He's a born winner, clearly.
He's a born winner indeed. So here we go, around the last few corners now. We'll stay on board with him as we can wave the proverbial checkered flag as he crosses the line.
I'm disappointed you haven't bought yourself an actual checkered flag to wave.
There's still time for the next few streams. There's still time.
Oh, amazing. I've given you an idea there. You're looking sharp tonight.
Thanks. You've got to make an effort for these for the last race of the championship. So here we go into the final straight. He's going to be waving to the crowd, doing all sorts of things. He crosses the line, and the race is complete. So if we can have a round of applause there.
Well done.
Bob Hunt, well done. Really top racing from him there to take home the trophy. Only 70 seconds left. I don't think some of the races are even going to get a chance to finish this race at this point, because he's just raced so well. It's unbelievable, really, isn't it? Unbelievable. You look at some of the times between some of these people now. He's 42 seconds. 42 seconds on Evidence.
Yeah.
He's 4 minutes on Jimmy H in 10th. Which
4 minutes. I mean, Jimmy's had a nice short race this time. Not quite as short as mine, actually, but still
no,
pretty.
exactly. But yeah, loads of action on the track this evening though, which has been really great for us to watch here at home.
Yeah, fantastic.
Really good. So we've still got a little bit of time for evidence to push here. Can
Let's
we
have a look at
see
Sin, mate.
at the very last minute into the? Oh, he's just gone off the track. I mean, that sums up his race, doesn't it, Jamie? He goes around the final corner off the track, and that just sums up his action this evening. So 20 seconds left. Can the rest of the racers get home? But there we go. No, that's it.
They're all finished.
All done this evening. So there we go. Confirmation of the final podium position. So Bob Humph has taken the first place trophy there. Trevor Humph in second. And Sin gets himself the bronze placed podium position. An
Fantastic
unbelievable drive from him there, you have to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, really well done. So Evidence in fourth. Mad Knife in fifth. Crichton in 6th, Invertigo 7th, Tuke in 8th, Odyssey 9th, Jimmy H in 10th, and Ilium, you're 11th. It says you're retired.
I managed a solid 2 laps there.
You're
Apparently.
still there, a solid 2 laps.
I don't remember those.
So there we go. Thank you for joining us at home. And of course, we're not done yet. We've still got the post-race reaction to go, as you can see the confirmation of who's won the race this evening and thus the championship. But yes, if you're in the chat and you're here to watch someone in particular, jump in the channel now. Tell us who you want to hear from and we'll go and interview them. But Jamie, there's only one person we've got to bring in, really, isn't it?
Get him in. Get the man in.
Get the man in himself.
Shall I grab him?
We'll grab him in now. He's in the channel.
Got him.
He's
Here
joined
he
us in the commentary box. Bob Hunt 3, winner, chicken dinner.
I'll tell you what, I'm still full up from last week, but I'll go again. Don't you worry.
Bob, we thought you were going to be gracious and give Trevor a nice victory there.
I was slowing down on that last lap. I was ready to go. But only if Evidence came fourth or worse, and I
Right.
came second, then we knew that Olgit would come second in the championship. So that's all we needed.
You've done all the maths, so
Yes,
clearly you're a dedicated professional here.
I'm ready to go. Don't worry.
So over the course of the last 4 weeks, you finished first in the podium position. Won the inaugural Noob Gamers Championship. How does it feel overall?
Well, it's a proud moment. There's no denying that. I don't know. It's great, isn't it? It's first proper championship, and you go and win it. But I'm really chuffed to bits that old Git, as I call him, Trevor Humphrey. he's nabbed second on the last day. So yeah, it's euphoria. It's great.
Euphoria. And what we'll do, as you have mentioned him, we'll drag Trevor Humph into the commentary box as well.
Whoa, second.
There he is.
We're
Family's
really
up.
pleased about that.
There he is.
Can I say a thank you?
You can.
Thank you to Sin. You're my hero. Well done.
Yeah, it's a really strong race from Sim. We will, of course, get a chance to speak to him later on, hopefully, if he's still knocking around. But yeah, 1 and 2 in the race tonight and in the championship overall. A really strong family effort there.
Yep, very pleased with that. Excellent. Well done to Bob.
Thanks.
Taught him all he knows.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the other way round, I think. But there we go.
So yeah, well done. I mean, what would you say if you had a defining moment, each of you, of the championship over the last 4 weeks? What would you say would be that moment for you boys?
Go on, Dad. You go first.
Well, it had to be last week in that first corner, didn't it? It just wiped everybody out, and that set us up for this week.
Yeah, exactly right.
Well, he's stolen my defining moment, so I'll find another one and say it was the first race, and it was hitting those barriers on the last lap. That just set me up for a great week.
That was a good moment in the stream, to be fair. Really good moment in the stream. And obviously, Jamie's joined me in the commentary box this evening after retiring early.
Yeah, well,
He watched the race, and as you can tell, Jamie, it was really good racing from them both this evening, just to keep their heads at the top of the grid.
Well, like we said, they weren't troubled at all, but the reason for that is because they, had a clean start, drove a solid race. I mean, you obviously haven't seen it yet, you boys, but everyone was falling off the track all over the place behind you. But, you kept it clean, and there you go. Deserved nice, easy win in the end.
I did have a moment at Druids on the first lap, or it might have been the second lap, when I overshot it, and then Rob spun after that.
yeah, second lap that was.
Yeah, but that's about the only moment I had, really. It was great.
Untroubled.
Weirdly, I'd practiced being out my own, so it paid off in the end. But
Confidence, that's confidence.
Yeah, there was a lot of what tyres we want to use and things like that, and yeah, it gets in your head. But yeah, we made the right call in the end, and
What did you go for?
I went with wets, and
Yeah.
I had more than half my tyres at the end, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was comfortable, to be honest.
Nice.
Yeah, it was comfy.
Both you guys.
My times were getting faster and faster as the race went on.
I think my
Perfect.
last lap was
We were
about
sort
10
of-
seconds slower.
We
Yeah.
were sort of hoping Trev he might gift you the win at the end there as a
Yeah, well, I
gesture
was
of goodwill.
sort of hoping that, but I know him. You don't know him as well as I do.
You've raised him.
Raised him, yeah. Well, thanks for joining us in the commentary box. A big well done
Thanks
to
for having
both.
Yeah.
Can I
and of
just say another thank you to you guys, to everyone at Wolfies, and to you, Murray, for putting the stream on. It's been great fun.
No worries. And obviously, this
I
is just the
second that.
start, isn't it? This is just the start.
Let's hope so.
And hopefully every Thursday night we'll be bringing you a Noob Gamers event. But yeah, thank you for taking part, and well done again for this evening.
Cheers, guys. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
So there we go, Jamie. The first place and second place, we've got their reaction. Now, of course, everyone's screaming on the chat. We want to hear from Sin.
Get the man in.
Let's get the man in the chat.
Here
Sin.
he comes. Here's the man of the
Sin,
moment.
the man of the moment. People on the chat saying, get him in. He's had a fantastic race this evening. Third place. Well done.
Thank you very much. That was shocking. With the spin as well, I didn't realise I was going to come in third, but the tyres held up well. That was good. I enjoyed that.
I mean, we were watching, me and Jamie, in the commentary box, and yeah, you were, doing really well, got round the corner, then all of a sudden had the spin out, had the crash, and we thought, oh no, there's his moment gone, but kept it together, dusted yourself off, and grabbed yourself third place position.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah, and I saw, I think it was Alpha that drove past me on the spin, and I thought, oh no, it was luck of the draw. It was good. I enjoyed that. And
Sorry, Sam. Go on.
go on.
We saw you hit the tyre wall, and we thought, God, he must have a serious amount of damage. But you managed to keep it together, and everyone else was falling off as well. So
Yeah, there was something like 13% suspension damage, so it
Yeah.
wasn't that bad, and they didn't call me into the pits, so I managed to
okay.
get away with it. It wasn't, on the road properly, but held it
Sure.
together. And then I saw evidence coming behind me. It was fingers crossed.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Well,
No.
we're a very good racer.
Very good race indeed. Now, obviously, this is the last race of this current championship, but we will be having more races every Thursday. Are you going to try and take this newfound form into the next few races?
Oh, for sure. For sure. It was, yeah, definitely. And it was very well organised by Jimmy and his crew and yourself. It was brilliant.
Yeah, Jimmy's done well. Now he's gone off line briefly. We will have chance to bring him in later. But yeah, obviously our thanks go to you and all the racers for taking part. But a big well done on third place position tonight.
Thank you very much.
No
Thank
worries. We'll let you go back into the paddock.
you. All right, cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, Sam.
Cheers.
So there we go. That was Sin, who got himself a third place position this evening. Really strong racing from him. Now, I'll let you have one guess, Jamie. There's obviously one more person we have to speak to this evening. Who do you think that is?
Well, personally, I'd love to hear from Evidence. Is that the man you're thinking?
Ding, ding, ding. Exactly
Oh,
right.
lovely.
We've got to bring him in, haven't we, and just get his reaction. He pushed the boys all the way in the standings, but that in the last race this evening couldn't quite get the job done. So we'll bring him into the commentary box now. Evidence, good evening.
Good evening.
Sum up that race for us. Fourth place position in the end, and it looked like you didn't quite have the pace of your previous races.
No, I couldn't practice for this race, to be honest. I just grabbed at the last moment the setup the Rob made, and I just went blindly to the race without doing any race simulation with other cars in track. That was the result I was expecting. I started in fourth position. I just got the fourth.
Fair play. I mean, as Jamie and me were watching people spinning out all the time, how difficult was it in those conditions this evening?
Was difficult because the track was getting dry so quickly, and then the wet tires were overheating. So that was really easy to spin. If you had one little mistake, you miss one braking point, or you give throttle really early, you can easily spin.
Yeah, it was. I would say we saw people spinning left, right, and centre, going wide on the corners, hitting tyre walls. There's a lot of action for us to keep up with here, but it just showed how difficult it was. But you still got to be fairly happy, as you said, with the lack of practice you haven't been able to put in. 4th place position is still obviously a really decent position.
I'm happy for Bob because he deserved this race. He was practicing hard all the week, as at least the people told me that, and he deserved the victory for sure.
I mean, I'm sure he'll really appreciate that coming from you as he looks back on the stream tomorrow or even this evening. But you still ended up in the championships, a really respectable position, and hopefully we can see more racing from you in the next few weeks.
Yes, I hope so. I don't know if I will available, but I hope I expect to be available at least for a few races.
Perfect.
You will see me here.
Good, that's what we like to hear. But well done tonight, 4th place, and we'll let you go back into the paddock. So there we go. There's the man Evidence himself. We've had his reaction, very magnanimous in his defeat, saying Bob Hunt deserved it there. And as he said, I think Bob's just put the work in on that one, hasn't he, Jamie?
Well, I mean, it certainly sounds like they've taken it very seriously, figuring out all the permutations and all the maths. So, fair play. That's what they want to do.
Fair
They
play
deserve
indeed. Now, Jimmy is now available to chat, so
Oh, man.
we'll bring in.
If you want to do it, yeah.
We'll bring in the main man himself, Jimmy H official.
Hello, Jimmy.
Number 1. You got some points this evening, my friend.
Yeah, surprisingly.
I say points, pointer.
Yeah.
How did you feel after that?
A little disappointed, actually. I was doing quite well in 7th, or where I was. 8th, dropped down, and then spun, lost a place, spun again, lost another place, and then spun big, took massive suspension damage. Like, my whole front right, I think, was completely knackered.
Yeah.
I pulled myself off the tyre wall and thought, I'll keep going. I can't remember how long was left, 18 minutes or something. I thought I'll keep going, and I drove for about 10 seconds and thought, this is fucked, I need to pit here. If I want any chance of just enjoying myself. So I pitted. I was in the pits for ages. And then I was just way at the back. Managed to catch up with Matt Pitt. He was just quite far ahead of me. He was doing donuts. Had a little race on with him, and then 30 seconds later spun it again and took more damage. Lost my rear bumper. Took 25% front end damage. So it was calamitous, really. But I still enjoyed myself. I thought it was quite fun, to be honest.
Yeah, it was great, and we've had the chat with the Humphreys, we've had a chat with Sin, we've had a chat with Evidence, and they've all said, to be fair to them, they've thanked their fellow drivers, but they've all pointed out how well organised this competition was, and obviously that goes down to you, but you've got to be pleased overall about how this competition's worked.
Yeah, I am. The aim of the competition was to kind of have a laugh, nothing too serious, but still a competition at the end of the day, like I said earlier, and I think that we've done exactly that. There's been a few knocks and a few things, but kind of nobody's thrown their dollars out the pram about the whole thing, and we've all got along and had a laugh and learnt from each other a bit and stuff like that. So it's good. We're now talking about the next one, which will kick off first Thursday in January. Next week, obviously, is a one-off Noob Gamers special, which is going to be a NASCAR. It's essentially the Ford Fusion stock cars around in Indianapolis. It's a 50-minute endurance race. We've got 20 signed up for that at the moment. Well, that'll be complete carnage. That's going to be a one-off special. We'll have a little chill over Christmas and come back in the new year with season 2, which is yet to be revealed.
Nice, but I mean, yeah, as you said, my next question was going to be what's next, but that 20-car NASCAR is going to be exciting for us to watch at home, certainly.
Yeah, the thing with NASCARs is you might think, 50 minutes round an oval, that's going to be dead boring, but these cars are so they're super unstable, and they carry like a much lower tire pressure in the left than the right to obviously make it slightly easier around corners and balance out tire wear and stuff like that. But they require quite a lot of concentration, and I think just a couple of little knocks or nudges or something could cause absolute carnage. There's going to be a mandatory pit stop in there as well, so the drivers will have to pit. Okay. Even if it's just a quick short pit stop, so that'll add an extra dynamic which we didn't have in this season. But this one's going to be good fun. I can't wait for NASCAR.
Yeah, it's going to be madness, real madness. So yeah, obviously as you're on the channel, we've got some really good viewer numbers on the stream here tonight. Everyone tuning in for this last race. Have you got anything to say to the people at home?
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I mean, it's nice to be able to have an audience, have somebody at home watching, tuned in. I know that some of the guys watching now are friends and supporters of some of the drivers, so I hope that we've managed to cover as many of the drivers as possible during the live streams, and kind of good interaction from everyone, really. Oh my god, I've just tuned in and you're wearing a suit.
Got to make an effort for the last race, mate.
Pulled out all the stops for race 4 of 4, round 4, amazing.
Yeah.
Big thanks kind of for everyone for tuning in, really. It's a bit pointless doing this with no audience, especially for you, so that's good. Thanks. Really appreciate it. It really makes a difference. Thank you. Hope you enjoy it.
There we go. So thank you very much, Jimmy. We'll let you go back
Thanks,
into
Jimmy.
the paddock.
Great job.
But great job from you to organise this, and we look forward to all the events in the future, of course.
Pleasure.
So there we go. There's the main man himself, Jimmy H Official, signing off race 4 of the Noob Gamers Championship Season 1. That's it for Season 1. Bob Humph has taken the crown. But of course, we're still not done on the stream, Jamie. You know what's next. At least I hope you know what's next.
Well, before we do that, is there a way to show the final championship standings? Can we do that?
There must be. Is what I'm going to go for.
Yeah, there must be. I think if you go back to the lobby.
Here we go. There's the driver roster this evening. So you've got the confirmation of the points. If I press continue here, is it going to tell us the overall? So we've got the team, obviously double hump, smashing it there.
We can't see that.
Sorry, I'm just going to bring. I was just seeing what it did.
Okay, sure.
So here we go. So there's the points from this evening. We'll press continue. I'm told on here, go into the championship menu. Well, there it is, Jamie. Straight away, the championship standings. 2 wins from Bob Humph.
Well, that's just. Oh yeah, here we go. I think I'm a bit delayed on the street. There we go.
Yeah,
perfect.
he smashed it there, hasn't he?
He really has there, isn't he? Yeah, absolutely.
So there's confirmation. So Bob Humph in first, Trevor in second, Evidence in third, Sin 4th place, Mad Knife in 5th, Mr. Salt in 6th, Ilium yourself 7th place, 8th is Boban, 9th is Crichton Alpha, 10th is Odyssey, Invertigo in 11th, Glassy in 12th, Jimmy H in 13th, Took in 14th, Rob 3 in 15th, Johnny OneNote 16th, Little Felix, LJ Shouts, MVR and T-Mac. Obviously all not able to take part in any of the races that I'm aware of. I think LJ Shouts joined us for 1, but didn't obviously score any points. So there we go. 15 different races got some points during the championship. Well done to all of them. Obviously the team championship has been well and truly smashed by Team Double Hump, with Team Hot Wheels coming in second place. That's Mr. Salt and Mad Knife. So they've done quite well there to grab second place off Team CRL. You have to say the abandonments from Rob 3 has let his team down there for the second place position. Evidence has pretty much scored most of those points there. I think Rob's brought 1 point to the table in that relationship, so Evidence will probably be quite annoyed by that. But Team Double Hump absolutely smashing it there. So there we go. There's the confirmation of everything we have this evening.
Can I just ask you, Murray?
Yep.
How did because you probably weren't too into racing before, were you? So this is all probably fairly new to you. How have you enjoyed this?
Yeah, it's been good. Like I would say, I don't mind racing. I don't mind watching a bit of racing. I wasn't a massive racing gamer, although you love your Mario Karts, your Crash Bandicoots, that sort of stuff. Everyone loves that. Slightly different, of course, but obviously, I've had the opportunity to get involved. We've played a bit of Racing Experience, played a bit of Forza, quite a bit. Sort of got into the racing games and can certainly see the fun. I know, obviously, me and you, we don't own the wheels and we race on controllers, but
no, we're the true noobs.
We're the true noobs, so I can imagine with a full wheel setup, it's pretty good fun. But yeah, there's still a lot to learn. There's still, loads we can improve on the stream in terms of our knowledge that we're bringing people at home. But generally, it's been really good fun. As Jimmy said, The best thing for me has been the engagement of the people at home, watching on the chat, getting involved, coming on to cheer people on, because that makes it all worth it. Because it just makes it good fun. It wouldn't be quite the same if we were sat here in front of one person, but to have, anywhere between 15 and 25 people tuning in for the races has been amazing. I mean, obviously, generally in the world of Twitch, that isn't massive numbers when you look at, your pros who are getting your tens of thousands. But for us, just to get like 10 people tuning in to watch us is amazing, to be fair.
It's probably one of the biggest racing streams, or Project Cars 2 at least streams. They don't seem to be that mainstream, really, do they?
No, there's not a lot from racing games, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, we're going to keep it going week in, week out, twice a week now. So hopefully we can slowly creep up that audience. But as I said, just to get like 10 people watching is amazing for me.
Well, you've done a cracking job, mate, and it looks more professional than 98% of the streams on Twitch, to be honest with you. The ones with 30,000 views look nowhere near as good as this.
Yeah, we're trying, and there's still some more things I want to bring to the table, but hopefully we'll try and introduce those for season 2 perhaps. But yeah, we have tried to put as much effort in here to make this as good as for the guys at home to watch. We don't want to do things half-hearted here at Noob Gamers Live. So but thank you for joining me this evening in the commentary box. Hopefully you've had a bit of fun this evening.
I've really enjoyed it. I think I might have to move into this. I quite like the racing in the other weeks. When you can practice, I'm like you. I'm new to all this, so when you can practice and tweak, I can be competitive. But when you don't have the time, and obviously we both got young kids, sometimes you just can't do it. It's just it's not the same. So just getting a few comments, reading the chat here. I may be stitching you up right now, so apologies in advance. But is there some porridge giveaway? I see
of course, yeah. There's 2 things left on the table, Jamie, and that is 1, the winner of the porridge, and 2, it is the we've obviously got to go and what am I saying? Raid someone, of course. Okay. So I'm just loading up my competition software now, and we're gonna see. I'm gonna press the roll button now.
So this just chooses someone.
This is just going to choose. It's just going to choose a random viewer who is basically been involved on the chat this evening. So I'm going to leave it. So you guys are watching at home. If you want to win the porridge, post something in the chat now. Doesn't matter what it is. You can put anything you want.
Can I enter?
You can enter, yeah, go for it. You're one of the races as well. Get involved. So you don't have to say anything in particular this evening. It can be feed me. It can be I love your suit. It can be I love the Noob Gamers. It can be whatever you want to say in the chat. Now's your chance to get involved in the chat, because I'm going to do a countdown. We'll give it 20 seconds. You've got 20 seconds now. Let's set a little timer on me. I'm not even going to set.
I like Mad Knife's one. He's gone literal there. Just
porridge. Yeah, I like this. So we've got 7 people entered so far. Let's see if anyone's Brian, I want your babies. I love that. I might have to give him that myself. So we've got 7 people entered
I'll
so
donate
far.
it to you.
Let's give it 10. So let's do a countdown from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So there we go. 8 people have entered the competition.
Okay.
And who's it going to be? My software this evening has given the porridge to one and only Mad Knife.
Yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Mad Knife, who scoops the viewers' porridge this evening. Big well done to him. So that's obviously one thing out the way we need to get done for you guys at home this evening.
Might be a bit fancy for him up north there, though, to be honest. It's got like jam in it and stuff. It's not like good northern porridge.
Northern porridge, yeah. That's what he's looking for. So now, of course, the bit everyone's really been waiting for. I mean, the racing's great, but we fucking love a raid at the end of the night because we get all sorts, Jamie. Now, I'm going to bestow the honour on you this evening. Do we want to go for a gaming channel, or do we want to go for one of these random just chatting channels?
Let's go for one of those like random chicks that does like song requests in weird outfits or something. They're pretty freaky.
Okay, so what we like to do on this channel, if you haven't done a raid of us before, we go onto the Just Chatting page and we don't start at the top. We scroll all the way down the bottom because we want to find the people with the 1, 2, 3 viewers, because we know we like bringing our little audience over to them because we like to make a difference where we can. The Twitch community is really, really important to us. We like to give back where we can because we've been helped out in the past to get to where we are today. So what we like to do is jump on to some other small channels and just like us, and hopefully give them a little boost this evening just like we've had in the past. So I'm scrolling down here now, Jamie. I'm going to give you 3 options in a minute.
All right,
and
brilliant.
you're going to tell me which one we're going to go for.
Okay.
So we're just getting down now. We're down to the people who have got 3 viewers. This is where the action is now.
Is it?
Right then. Let's see what we've got on the table. So these people have all got 3 viewers. I'm just looking around now to see what we've got. Oh my days. We've got, I mean, there's some weird and wonderful.
Well, that's why I suggested it.
Yeah, I mean, I love it personally. I love going
you do,
down to these channels. Okay, so the ones I'm going to give you as an option, I'm going to try and find the English-speaking ones just to make it easier for us more than anything, because you know we're obviously an English-speaking channel.
That's wise.
So we've got Junkyard Dan. He's just chatting, working around his barn, and they're just about to play some pool.
His barn? No,
Yeah.
I'm not liking that one. Go on next.
We've got some guys. The Whale Boys are playing some singing and dancing games and some Super Nintendo.
The Whale Boys.
The Whale Boys is what the channel is called. Yeah, so that's option number 2.
Yeah.
And finally, we've got number 3. We'll go for. Oh my God, what have we got going on here? We'll go for. We'll go for a guy. He's called Everybody's a Cynic, and the title of the stream is just chilling. Just chilling.
Just what?
Chilling. So we've got Everyone's a Cynic, just chilling. We've got the Whale Boys singing and dancing on Nintendo, and we've got Junkyard Dan in his barn playing some pool.
I mean, part of me wants to go to Junkyard Dan, but what I think I'm going to do is give, as a reward, the choice to our championship winner, Mr. Bob Hump. He's going for the Whale Boys.
Going for the
Rolfie
Whale
wants the Whale Boys. There's a big call for the whales. Let's see some fucking whales.
I mean, I don't know if we're actually going to see some actual whales. I mean,
really? Bob, come on.
Okay, so the Whale Boys are the ones who've been chosen this evening. I mean, I'm not going to explain what's on their channel at the moment, but all I'm going to say they say it's family friendly, but I'm not quite sure it's the case. But we're going to go raid the Whale Boys anyway. So let's set this up now. So while I'm setting this up, obviously, thank you for joining me in the commentary box this evening, Jamie. It's been an absolute pleasure having someone with me. And finally, to you guys at home, obviously that was race 4 of the Noob Gamers Championships. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing all 4 races live and direct to your smartphones, to your TVs, however you guys watch Twitch at home. It's been amazing to have all you guys chatting, getting involved with the channel, following, subscribing, even just being here to watch. It really, really does make a massive difference to us and our channel here. So thank you again for you guys at home. We're going to go raiding now, so remember #NoobRaid when we get into the channel. Let's see if we can get a reaction from these boys. But we'll see you here, remember, on Sunday as we bring you a Le Mans event, thanks to T-Mac. And next Thursday, of course, we'll be bringing you the one-off Noob Gamers Championship special with NASCARs. But for now, that's us signing off as we go and raid the Whale Boys, which is chosen by Bob Hump 3 this evening. Good luck is all I'm going to say to you boys raiding. I hope you enjoy it. See you guys later.